Clement Beaune was brutally mocked after new €2 coin celebrations while French fishermen suffered. Emmanuel Macron's sidekick, Clement Beaune, was brutally mocked after he celebrated the launch of a new €2 coin. The French European Affairs Minister shared a video by Money of Paris showing the newly designed €2 coin which will come into circulation from January 1st. But the news he celebrated was not received with equal excitement by French Twitter users who brutally mocked the French politician. One Twitter user called Basics Yakimanka replied, "Say that we pay this gentleman to tweet like that on his working time. We should force politicians to go and work from time to time in a factory or in a store with a chef as we have all had in our lives." Another user, Gazetteer, said, "Nice piece of €2, but what about our fishermen?" Claude Mestres echoed, "You better take care of our fishermen." And Cobra Ladwesh called for his immediate resignation. They wrote, "This guy is a big joke, he must be removed quickly, he is useless." Twitter user DMT lamented that Emmanuel Macron's party should be worrying about the pandemic instead. They wrote, "It is true that in the midst of a health crisis it was super important as a project. La Remond priorities." And Laurent, nationalist Frexit, joked, "Super, awesome, extraordinary. A new Deutschmark. Pardon, we must officially say euro." Earlier this month, the European Central Bank said it plans to redesign the euro's banknotes over the next 3 years to make them more relatable to Europeans of all ages and backgrounds. ECB focus groups will gather suggestions about the overarching theme of the new banknotes from the public in the 19 countries that share the euro, the ECB said. The new design will replace the windows, doorways and bridges of different architectural styles that have adorned the euro's banknotes since their launch in 2002. ECB President Christine Lagarde said, "After 20 years, it's time to review the look of our banknotes to make them more relatable to Europeans of all ages and backgrounds." The original design was meant to signify unity and openness while being abstract enough not to be traced back to any individual member country. But many authorities have since sought to put the emphasis on diversity and inclusion when designing new bills, with the U.S. Treasury picking African-American anti-slavery crusader Harriet Tubman for its $20 banknote. An advisory group comprising experts from each Eurozone country will make a short list of themes and submit it to the ECB's Governing Council, which will seek the public's input before launching a design competition. After this and a further public consultation, the Governing Council will make the final decision by 2024. In another news, French officials will meet European Commission representatives on the 4th of January to discuss how they can begin legal proceedings against British authorities in the dispute over fishing rights, the country's Europe minister has said. Clement Beaune made the announcement this week while appearing on French television, warning that if the Channel Islands and UK did not respect the Brexit agreement they would cut off access to their export markets. France claims that Jersey and the UK have collectively failed to issue around 70 licenses to fishermen. However, those in the British Isles claim all vessels which have proven their eligibility to obtain a permit have received one. The French politician's comments follow a warning from Environment Minister John Young that, if the nation did go ahead with the action, it would sour the relationship with the island. Appearing on France 2's Les Four Vérités current affairs program, Mr. Beaune said, "We have an agreement which said that if it was not respected then there could be sanctions which would be authorized by a court. It is this court which we, the EU and the UK, appointed jointly. It will be this court that we will be approaching in the very first days of January, and if the court says that the agreement has not been respected, as we think it has not, then we can put sanctions in place. There will be meetings between the 4th and 6th of January to define this procedure." He added, "The British need our market, it is the first outlet for their exports. It has access to our markets today, but if they do not respect the agreement then they will no longer have access to our market."